So I just fucking finished the second video. Oh god. I finished this fucking second video getting rid of Baby Boy out of my fucking days. And of course, when a bad guy really wants to get you, they go right to the people that are closest to you. At least so they think. So they jumped onto my brother Chris. He was earlier tonight giving me kindness. Apparently he wants to have a cookout that I don't really want to do. But he was like, I'm giving you a cookout. I'm like, no, you're not. I got better things to do with my time right now than talk to an alcoholic. I mean, booze would knock you down and keep you off the frequencies. It shuts down the brain. It makes it uncomfortable for communication on their end. Like, it's just not viable. So they'd rather go to someone who's a little more open that day and more vulnerable via the proper psych meds, but not just slowing down the brain. That's useless. You can't do much with that sludge. So my brother's a severe alcoholic, leaving Las Vegas, and he has some trumped up charges about pedophilia. He's not a pedophile, but what happened was there's a girl who was hurt, and one day she blurted out in class and started accusing like men, just men, and among the men she mentioned was my brother. And so he's been dealing with this political aspect of this one guy wants to be tough on crime, probably for his political career, pushing to get him in trouble, even though they got his computer, there's nothing on it. He didn't have the underwear, it was like pink underwear they said he had. He does not have them, his wife doesn't wear that kind of stuff, as far as I can tell. She's disabled. And so they don't do a lot of that Victoria's Secret stuff, I don't think. I don't fucking know. I don't live there anymore. I lived there for a little while when I first moved down here, because my brother called me in Connecticut and said he needed help one night. Through the cream, as Chris Cornell says. He reached out to me, and we had a pretty big talk. He said, I need your help. I was talking about his alcoholism. He's like, I need help. I'm like, okay, I'll come down. It happened to be that I had just left my marriage. I was in Connecticut with my boy Troy, and I was doing really well. I call him my boy Troy because I love that man. And he hooked me up with a bed when I needed one. And he's a fucking badass Magic player. So my other brother there. He's closer to me in my heart than my brother Chris is right now. This is terrible to say. But he got pissed. He's listening to our podcast. He's trying to get on board a little. But he's still working. He's been working. He's a warrior. But he's not doing the same shit I'm doing. I'm R and he's D. R&D. You know? I'm in R and he's in D. And D's nuts and all. But D's are shields. They're counters. They have counters, as in blockchain, Satoshi Nakamoto. It's all been the same story, just told in epicycles. They got shit done via, Geary stuff, propagation through time. There's mirroring patterns, and you can use them as landscape. This looks a lot like that other neighborhood I was in, where I bought that weed or something, you know? It's really just that kind of thing. It's like, this looks a lot like where they put a Stuckey's. You know, so anyway, my brother is a severe alcoholic because his life was ruined by this accusation and is being hung up in court for stupid reasons because they don't have evidence. And I've given him every answer I could. I'm like, I can get you a lawyer. I could. I can get you, I could have, I don't have the money anymore. At least not currently. I'm pretty not liquid at all. I'm not worried about it. So I'm going to start selling my shit, and that means getting some work done. So Baby Boy doesn't like that. He wants his little petty revenge of preventing me one more night. So Baby Boy, as soon as I got rid of him, he jumps on my brother Chris, who's been listening to the podcast, and he heard me saying something about something he legitimately said in his spirit of infirmity. He's possessed by the spirit of alcoholism, which is connected to Baby Boy and the pedophile rings. No joke. Am I crazy? He says, oh, you're schizophrenic. I'm like, Mom was schizophrenic. I had dissociative identity disorder. All the voices came from, mostly inside my head, but how they get in there. So anyway, all disabilities are actually just our virtues turned into weaknesses, Christopher. They take your strength and they cut it off, and they keep it. And then they leave you a little bit less than you started with, because they're like, this is still good down here. Let's cut this whole thing off. Click. Even in a disability mode, they can still produce a little more and gain more strength back, because we leave them just enough to start growing the stuff when you prune it. That's how you farm them. People. Soylent Green, yeah. And also every other drug you can think of, but they want it producing, don't they? So Chris is so damn strong that they had to knock him down this hard. But right now he's being a wuss. And I say this thing to him. I say, if the truth can hurt you, you're wrong. And if a lie can hurt you, you're weak. And he hates being told he's weak because tough guys with shields, doors, open or close, and they can guard. They're warriors, true spiritual warriors. Have this shield. And it's not just as simplistic as a shield. It's literally a whole bunch of tools that are like, you have a concave oppositional pole that's like, I'm in here, I'm protected, and it's still neutral. And I'm like, but I have a sword too, and I'm a fucking warrior, badass. And you're using kung fu and shit. And you go out and you find your $20 bill like I told the last crew. You and I would do that. We'd walk out and we'd find our $20 bill. And I'd find my pack of cigarettes. It was my brand. Because we'd walk the shadows, as they say in a certain sci-fi series I need to read. But we'd literally walk the timelines and find the place where this place was. Where the $20 bill was sitting in that part of the road. We did this as kids, you and I, Christopher. And they're trying to make you forget your damn strength. And so, yeah, I told Janelle and I were pissed at who? Who were we really mad at when we were criticizing? We were mad at Baby Boy. The one that's making you sick, we were yelling at. And you took it personally because you have a shield. And you're like, anything behind my shield I must defend. Anything within your castle walls, do you defend? If there's a rat in your fucking cabinet, do you defend it because it's in your house? You need to get rid of those rats, my brother. And you can bash those fuckers too. In a way I can't, but you gotta open your shield first to get them out of there. Your force field. You can't do that. You can do that, by the way. But you can't do that fight while leaving them in there, because they'll die and their fucking disease will spread inside you. And you'll be poisoned and dopey and crazy and lunatic. Because those shields work both ways. You can bash with them, yeah. But you're also defending what's inside. So you gotta lower your own damn shields and get some fresh air, man. And lay on the green grass of your heart. And then stand. And you say I'm crazy. Of course I am. I'm crazier than any motherfucking fox. I'm your brother. I'm in research. And you're in development, man. You're a sales dude. You're a good salesman. Because you have force of personality. You can use that solar plexus energy I can't afford to use. Because it burns me up too much. But you use it right. And I can sell on technique real easy. But I have to get that smooth conversation started. And that's hard for me. You have power that I don't have. You know, better or worse. In Hebrew, the Dalet is... it's two lines that cross, and there's a little yud, a little bit that sticks out the back. It's the heart, the soul, spirit. You start with that. And they call it the poor man sometimes. And Gimel next to it, the G, is the rich man running to give a job to the one guy who will do it right. The guy whose back is bowed over is carrying the burdens of the world. The Dalet. Well, my letter is Resh. If you're Dalet, I'm Resh. You're D. You are D in your heart, okay? Defense, and demolish, and destroy, and deliver. And here I am in R, Resh, R. Scott Kennan, who put that pattern together, but the creator. Not just for me, but for everybody. Donald Trump. What's he trying to do? He's a good dude in his heart. He's still a human. He's got some dark shit going on, too. People can be more than one thing at one time, can they not? Well, that's what R is really good at. Rectifying. Reiterating. Refreshing. Redistributing. And rediscovering. A lot of R. All R words. All D words are yours. Including D's nuts. But one of the cool things that I can do is I can get the tip of the iceberg on what you do. I can make a tool for it. I'm not the guy who has the shield intrinsically like you do. You can still do any tool you need. You can make tools too, just like me. We all do the things we other ones can do. And you're just as much a fucking genius, so don't be so fucking self-conscious, you cunt. If you act like you're afraid that you're not smart, that's exactly how you're not smart. Empathy is the trunk of all power. So have some fucking empathy for yourself. And I know what I'm doing. you would know what you were doing if you weren't being blinded by your own shields and the poison's being kicked out because you're possessed, because you're in a situation where someone always sucks at you. It's a fact of it. And you two end up making a real dynamic duo, because one is a certain way that's hurt, not evil, but just hurt. Someone who channels really well with their mind, and someone who's behind a shield. That combo, when it goes wrong, can really just lead to a suction cup. But at the same time, that person who can channel needs that defense to keep themselves from being destroyed. So no one's evil here at all. I love everyone in your family. But the dynamic in your family is unhealthy because of the physics of it. Now, your son's precocious. He's like me. He's an R. No kidding. So you got your R on your team already. You guys can figure it out together if you were capable. And he'll tell you the truth all the time. He's like, you're being an idiot, Dad. I don't believe you. And you keep telling me I'm lying. If I lied, I would have failed. I don't lie. You just don't hear all of the truth, and you don't see all of the truth, and you don't perceive all of the truth, because you're blinded by your own, like the waste product of your murder against the evil. So you go and you help the one guy who needs money, and you save his day, his true day, where he's like, if I don't get some sort of hope today, I'm going to kill myself tomorrow. Well, you're the guy that gave him $20 when he was like, wait, if I had $20, I could take an Uber I could get the job, and then get the job, and then the end of the movie for that guy. You're an angel, dude, in your heart. You're also a Greek god, Mars. You know, like any part of a hero that you love is part of your light, man. I don't want to cut this off, but I'm not gonna talk to you all the time like this, because you keep doing it. And there's enough help out here that you can get help from any damn person nowadays. But you gotta allow yourself to lower your shield and get some damn help. I can't do it for you. I can't carry you. I carried enough in my life. I'm done, man. Blood is the thread that I'm most willing to cut when it comes to family, because bloodlines we're fucked with. We had a good, powerful one. We used to be druids, our family, advisors to the king, and so a Raish like me. I'm just like, if you draw a Raish, it's just like a Dalet, but it doesn't have that little yud. In other words, I can stick any tool on there. Any other letter could fit here in principle. But you don't stick letters together in Hebrew, because that's considered adulteration of the letters, and it's also like trying to marry the forces when they don't belong. Now a Raish, who knows what they're doing, can make a thought form, a tool, and then therefore project that tool into, say, making a cell phone. You can do that, and you're not marrying the letters. And I mean, like, forced marriage of the letters. I'm not talking about like a combo like R&D. Well, your wife is a mouth. I don't mean a mouth, although, yeah, she's New York lady. That's totally part of a trait of a mouth letter. Someone who has that letter in themselves. And inside that letter is a little bait, which means house. It's a place to build a home, a wonderful place. These pay people. But they're also channels. A mouth can channel and eat. Yes, eat. But the disease tries to turn your strength against you. So the pay becomes annexation. It's a great way for them to get annexation through. Not that your wife is doing it, but it passes right through because it's a channel for annexation. And the door can be shut or open. You open the door and there's really no, you can grab that fucking snake, snap its neck without talking to your wife. You know what I mean? You don't have to yell at your wife because you're hurting your wife, just like you got hurt when I shared a real story of what you said when you were under influence. And then you got your feelings hurt. And so it becomes a cycle. Very, very basically. And I'm not nuts. If I were talking about this without the spiritual level, people would listen to me. You know what's what, man. Don't pretend you don't. And slam the door on that fucking head of Baby Boy. I call him Baby Boy, that fucking pedophile in Florida. A real dude who's psychic. And I've been fighting him on your behalf, but mine too. He's a fucking asshole. Hey, whatever. I look good, baby. So now a Raish, on the other hand, is a tool maker. A craft. Craft is a keyword for Raish. Craft. Crafty. Trickster. And now Dalet, the keyword I'm using is counter. That's blockchain, dude. Satoshi Nakamoto, I based it on you, motherfucker. You got these blocks, and you got these triggers, right? Don't let those triggers be used against you. And you got little events you can allow out when they trigger ya, or you let them trigger you. It's like, dude, you fell for that fucking feint. That's some blockchain shit. That's what Satoshi Nakamoto's about, and why I'm not lying, Christopher. You're just so blind, man. I admire you. You and I used to hustle to get food for Mark. We were little kids. We'd steal some shit. And you just never stop stealing sometimes. So it's like, you were just good at it, man. But you'd also steal the heart. You wouldn't steal. I mean, you took money off the counter. You took little bits when you were little, and you didn't really know what a $50 bill meant. You just started playing with it in the yard, you know, like, yeah. That's how it got you in trouble, because you have this wall that you can put up in front of yourself, too, and not have to see the world. I don't have that. I have to see the world full force all the time. And I wish I had a shield, but I don't know how to really build a good one that doesn't hurt me. Like, I really don't. I can build tools for them, like moats. I like moats. My wife can handle the wall coming up. She's in Kaf, which is right between Dalet and Pei on my map. So she's in Kaf, which is the palm of the hand. Very centralized person, very energetically centered. And they're capable of building force field walls and lowering them. They're like the dancer type of energy. Really cool, and she's my wife, so I love her. But in Pei, I use the word channel, because that's precisely what they do. And now, me being at Ration Craft, I have a link here where I say, okay, I'm Craft, and next to me in Pei, right on the left of the table I have, is Pei, the mouth. Pay me, too. You have that access too, because you have any two words in any direction really mean something in my game. My system, actually, our code that we were using to fight these fuckers. And you were there too. Like ground level, street level, and above. You were a manager, dude. And get back at what you are, because they fucked us. But either way, I'm R and you're D. We're R and D, brother. I want you to do well, but I can't carry you anymore. I got to move forward into our plans that we have together, you and I, even. And you'll see it on the other side. I just wish you would be here with us. But from Craft, I can go from my wife is focus. It's a word that we're using, the keyword for cough. It's a focus in your hand. What do you have in the palm of your hand? Focus. You're not sitting here saying, give me a handout. If you're any good and spiritual, you're saying, look at my hand, brothers. It's like, I'm barehanded, I'm not fighting you. Or, this is what I made. This is what I'm selling. This is what I have for you. That's focus. So, it goes craft. And one definition of craft is to channel focus. It's the left-handed path. It moves left. Loof. Trickster. 3-card money. There's a real street level to this. Our family's into it. And you got to talk to people. And even Mike's out there. You can talk to Mikey. And you don't want to admit that, because you're afraid that you'll be judged. We don't judge. The heart doesn't judge like that. The head discriminates. And you hear immediately when I say discriminate, a racial lie. I'm talking on the heart signal as I'm doing this video. You know this. Discrimination is not evil. Discernment is not evil. But racial discrimination is evil. We know this. So why do you add racial when there's no racial? That's the racial thing to do. I add properly with a race. I play games because I'm brilliant. You're brilliant too, but you got to know that you're more like a flashlight, like a speaking spells flashlight, and I'm a fucking laser light show motherfucker. I'm good at what I do, man. And I do a lot of monkey bars. Let me be that active, like jumpy, flippy guy. And I don't have the fucking armor you have, because I don't have the fucking weapons you have. And we're equal. Or no one's equal. Try being equal with yourself and understanding that you have to be fair to yourself too, because you have the shield up to defend your wife probably from a lot of attack because of the nature of this time we're in. And you're cooped up at home and somehow you're getting booze. I call you Kentucky gentleman when you're like that. That's not you, it's a bad guy. Behind you. Totally behind you, man. Never put, if you say Satan, like in the South, they have this saying somewhere, not here, But nearby, someone says like, hey, get behind me, Satan. It's like South Georgia, maybe. Get behind me, Satan. That means get out of my way, right? But I had a joke on stage where I'd say, well, that's the last place you want him. He'll give it to you. Especially if you're wearing that shield. And you have all these powerful shields and armors and weapons and ways to direct energy in forceful ways, Mars style. Now, for anyone who's watching this revelatory video that I am going to post, the Hermetics have it all wrong. Just all wrong. At least after Crowley. Although their maps, say the Rosicrucian stuff, is amazing. And that's valid. But their tree of life is fucked. Because it was for a different time, and it was purposeful at the time. There were battles to fight at that level. But it was drawing power to places it didn't need to go, and they thought of Earth as Malkut and not Tiferet. So if Malkut were the place to bring power to, that's the way to go with that. 3 power sources going to one place. But that's a real good way to blow up the whole thing, too, nowadays. So don't use it. But yeah, I know what I'm talking about, Christopher, and I'm not nuts. Like, I am, but not. I'm smart, and I'm accurate. You know about spirituality. You're always trying to tell me about your guy, specifically Jesus. I'm like, you didn't hear those day-long sessions with Mom. You were too little, you know? I was there, and I couldn't handle it at the time. But I'm not Antichrist. I'm not even neutral. I'm pretty solidly cool with the dude. But I also prefer to talk to people like Ganesha and Hanuman. He's straight white light. I can't handle straight white light without burning up, and maybe you can't either. In fact, you're closer to the orange, dude. Imagine like the warm fire of a campfire. Go camping, man. You're in the orange, I'm in the indigo, if we're talking visible light. So red is like behind us at Mikey. Mikey's like, fuck yeah, I'll beat that guy up. Mike was a house. He had the tattoo on his arm. It said house. You have a cross on your arm, dude. Your tattoo's a cross. And no one crosses you. You can do straight light, and you can handle the orange too. I can't handle straight light like that because I'm 2 steps away from straight light. I'm indirect light, but I'm real good at it. And I wanted you to know that, and anyone who watches this, they get to know that too, because I'm putting this up on the video place because you're only watching my videos, and you're not talking to me. You're just being weird. So I love you, my brother, and watch. Just look around, man. Listen to the birds again. Remember that time you were in that fight? My brother Chris was in this fucking fight with a kid, and the birds started chirping out the rhythm, and he was beating the shit out of this kid. No kidding. He tells that story whenever he gets certain happy, drunk. He's heard the music of the spheres and the nature and all the shit. He just hears it his own way, and it's beautiful. Chris, open up your ears and your eyes. We're past the bad days. It's safe now. I love you. Talk to you later.